Welcome, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign to November 2025's horoscope. It is a great month for your financial prosperity, your pocketbook. It may also include a new romantic love story coming in for some of you. And I'm going to tell you this is one of those months where you can take a bit of a sigh of relief compared to some of the intensity of the last 2 months. This is going to be mostly positive. So we're going to break it down and talk about how this month works for you week by week so that you can time your best month of November 2025. But did you know that you can also probably time your best year of 2026, the whole year? I do my yearly videos at this time of year. I'm recording them for you guys. They come out for public sale in the beginning of December, December 1st. But every year I offer a pre-sale price just for people who wish to support my channel, get a price that will never be offered to the general public once it's for sale. So if you want to go ahead and get a 2 to 2.5 hour video with a PDF guidebook for your sign explaining the big events of 2026 and how to time your life and navigate with those energies, look in my description box below, click on the link, purchase that product. It will be delivered to you before December 1st, probably the last day of November, and then it goes on sale to the general public as a product with no discount price. That money that you do by every year give me by doing that has allowed me to buy my new MacBook Pro, my microphones, my help hire assistants for my business. This year, I'm dedicating a chunk of that financial gain from this pre-sale of this product. I'm going to create a scholarship fund for people to study with me, a Sky Reader and other classes I teach, as well as get some readings with me when I open spots up. If they are financially struggling and need some scholarship assistance, if you want to be a part of that story as well, that would be so appreciated. Whoa. Let's start going right away into the sky. We have quite the month ahead. We have a beautiful ongoing water trine that's really activating a beautiful prosperity, work, career, even health success story for you. And so I'm going to draw that to your attention as well. We tend to do these, and we have 2 lunations that are really also good for health work as well. We tend to do these videos. Am I actually sharing? We tend to do these videos each time. I thought I was, but I don't think I am. We tend to do these videos. Let me get the chart ready and see if I can get it set up week by week. So we're going to go week by week. So settle in, usually 30 minutes long, no longer than that, and we'll get started. Really not liking the new MacBook Pro interface with my Zoom. Simple things like sharing have become an ordeal. Yeah, you got to see my messy desktop before anything else. I'm just going to go with the flow. Hey guys, welcome. So here you have it. We're going to start talking about your sky. Number 1, you want to notice that you are experiencing November the 1st, 2025, right here. And the first thing that's happening is that Jupiter is trining Saturn. Well, that's not even just the beginning. It's all month long. But you'll notice that Jupiter is in your second house of money, finances, resources, food style, possessions, income. And he's flowing up here to your entire 10th house trio, North Node. Moon's just temporarily here. North Node, Saturn, Neptune. Here's the deal. It's going to increase your financial wellness. Month of November looks like a financial glow up. It also can look like a reputation glow up, a career glow up. If you're looking for a job, raise promotions. If you got one, things get better. Just glows up the Artha 2nd and 10th house all month long. But we're going to have late month action at the end of the month, really, really whipping up a storm of positivity. And we'll get to that when it's time. Let's continue on the month by month. On the second third of the month, Venus is going to square Jupiter. She's here in Libra, her home kingdom, until November the 6th. This is really good, by the way, for creativity, romantic love, for your children having luck and benefits. But you'll notice that as she's been here for 2 or 3 weeks already, in fact, she entered the Libra sky already. October 14th leaves November the 6th. So this was good for romance, love, play, pleasure, winning a lottery ticket, good luck for your children, fertility. Now, as you'll notice on the 1st, she's already opposite Chiron and squaring Jupiter, creating this, what we call is a T-square. It's not negative because both Jupiter and Venus are in dignity. What it is catalytic energy. Something wants to shift and change. It's going to connect to money. It's going to connect to career profitability and gains, and it's going to connect to the 5th house. Entrepreneurial, creative projects, your children, matters to do with love and romance. Now, if you're single and you're looking for a relationship, this definitely could bring one from social settings, social groups, or from your professional work capacity. Or your own children are having some very exciting event, and this could also look like their positive developments for your adult children, in particular regarding romantic love, fertility, pregnancy, and just positive good things happening. You might be trying to heal a chironic wound of belonging when it comes to social groups, or feeling on purpose with the way your career gains have manifested in your life. You're getting money, but it doesn't feel meaningful or purposeful. This is going to make a turning point, healing energy around that, and it's going to feel lucky. Could you win the lottery under this one? Sure, damn well you could. This is windfalls and pennies from heaven. Every Gemini listening to me, please, sun, moon, and rising, especially rising, but sun and moon as well. This is a very lucky period of time, November 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, for particularly having a financial win. On November 4th through the 6th, Mars will become move into an opposition to Uranus, while also sextiling Pluto. And we're going to show you what's going on here. There's Mars at 28 degrees of Scorpio in his home kingdom. I want you to think backwards in time just to understand how powerful this is. That on September 22nd, Mars entered your work house, your health house, your workout house, and he's leaving on November 4th. I have a progressed Gemini sun, and that's when I started Sky Reader. That's when I started going to Pilates classes. That's when I started to cut my addictions and bad habits out. So you'll see that this has probably been working for you because Mars is in his joy here. But you could also have injured yourself. Be careful that, or had a urinary tract infection or urogenital problem. You know, Mars is inflaming the Scorpio sky. But he's leaving on November the 4th. And on November the 4th, he's going to cross the Rubicon into the sign next door. And the sign next door is called Sagittarius. Now, there's so many ways this could play out because he'll be in this part of your sky all the way till December 15th. It certainly, if you're in an existing relationship, gives your partner a lot of drive, ambition, and maybe a bit of aggression, but in a love relationship. But if you're single and you're looking for a masculine partner, so I don't care if you're gay, are you more feminine? Are you looking for a masculine love partner? Then Mars traveling through here brings that, no matter what, orientation you have. So this is often a transit every 2 years. It can bring a relationship into your life. So this happened 2 years ago, and now it's happening again. And it can also separate you from your partner. If you're with someone already, there might be geographical distance or time apart or separation. And this will be going through your sky from November 4th, 5th to December 15th. And as this is happening and he first enters into this part of the sky, look at his opposition to Uranus. Something exciting, shocking, it definitely looks exciting, let's put it that way, is happening. And it requires a kind of exhilarating decision making, but it may not be about you. If you're married, it could be something going on in the life of your partner. But you could also have a sense of breaking free and breaking through of something that doesn't work for you. And if you or your marriage partner are having difficulty, this could be a severing and an unexpected, shocking ending to some long-term business partnership, love relationship, or client relationship. Otherwise, looking for love, you might be knocked off your feet. And one of those thunder, lightning, the way you love me is frightening, old songs from the back in the day. And you'll notice that Mars is also talking in a very conversationally happy way to Pluto. So if you're going to meet a new love, it could be love from a foreign land, a foreign shore, or love in an ashram, in a religious setting, love from something connected to law and legal environments. There's a love story that could blossom here, but it will definitely be one of those things that feels like a lightning strike. It's going to be very intense, but not necessarily negative. I don't want you to think that's what I mean at all. As we move forward into the sky, we're going to notice the next set of stories are happening. We're going to go into the week of, we're getting ready to go into the week of the 7th to the 14th. But before we do that, what about November the 5th? Because on November the 5th, there's a lunation and it's full and it's in the sign of Taurus. It means that you're fulfilling a promise or a seed you planted 6 months earlier. And so there's now a fulfilling of a new beginning. And the full moon at 13 degrees of Taurus in the 12th house could be fulfilling or completing a foreign land, foreign shore, far off land project, completing something to do with addictions and removals of those addictions from your life, fulfilling or completing something to do with a spiritual path or spiritual endeavor, especially a spiritual awakening process, and fulfilling and completing something perhaps to do with hospital settings. Now, jails and hospitals, isolation places, fulfillment endings and completions. May not be you, maybe finally somebody's leaving the hospital in your life and you're celebrating that, and it's coming to an end. So that's a full moon in your sign of Taurus, and with Venus in the sign of Libra at the time, which is very auspicious. That's a good thing that she's here. She also could bless other factors connected to the 12th house moon. And she could bring you into a situation of romantic love with somebody in a distant shore and far off land. So we see that theme repeating a couple of times as well. Now, the moon's exalted too, so this is very powerful energy and very exciting energy, given that Venus is in charge of it and she's in good shape in the chart. And the moon at 13 degrees also trines the north node in the career house and the south node in the 4th house. It could lead to a change of home to a distant shore, different city far away. In the 6 months that follow, you may be changing where you live. And it may also indicate financial prosperity from a new career path or an acceleration of career success, especially if you make money by doing creative projects behind the scenes, or because you get digital income from borderless revenue, online world monies. We move forward to November the 7th to the 9th. At this time, Venus squares Pluto. Venus will square Pluto for the simple reason that she's crossing into Scorpio. Now, Scorpio is not her happy place. She will be in Scorpio for a bit of time. She will be hanging out in the sign of her exile or detriment. She'll be hanging out here all the way from November the 7th to December the 1st. During this time, you might find yourself having difficulties with rental property situations, especially with the south node in the 4th house, with pets, domestic animals, with your work routines, with your health, especially Scorpio. Again, urogenital challenges. On the other hand, Venus here could also mean there's something going on with the work environment that's good, but not great, right? Like you're doing the work, but maybe you're not enjoying the work, right? You'd rather be hanging out at the ashram or, by yourself doing creative projects. She's exiled from the 12th house, so she's got to kick ass in the workhouse. And she might just be not in the mood, actually, just not in the mood to be doing that work. And so there's something about this could just be like a disinterest or not enjoying the work that you're doing beginning November the 6th, 7th, around that time and continuing forward. And so I'm giving you a forewarned, forearmed vibe about that. And as you move into a square to Pluto, there's a power of love and the love of power. Now, this is a dating house. 6th house is dating. And so, as it precedes commitment. So this could be a new relationship that's starting to spark. We saw that earlier, and there's dating going on, but the love of power, the power of love, intensity, transformation, regeneration, and maybe something to do with, again, foreign countries, foreigners, foreign people, and foreign lands. There are also lawsuits are down here. Judges are up here. Something going on. It's very intense around legal matters connected to legal problems and lawsuits and judges and a vibe. It's very intense, but it can also be very transformative. And you're going to see that going on again on a very short window of time. Don't get stressed out about it, please. It's really only going to be felt by you like November 6th, 7th, and 8th. And then as we move forward to November 9th, Uranus will retrograde into the sign of Taurus. Uranus is retrograding after being in Gemini since early July, back to a place he's been since 2018. This is a part of your sky where there was an attempt by Uranus to enlighten you, pineal gland downloads, but also spiritual liberation from the matrix, Buddhahood, and all kinds of, insights into the nature of reality. And because of that, you probably have had some spiritual journeys of awakening since 2018. But if you make money from distant shores and lands, this could have been a riches to rags, rags to riches, as money was up and down in this part of your sky. And also there may have been the experience of people unexpectedly having to be in the hospital and a bit of a shock surprise around that as well. This is again 2018 onward. Uranus is coming back to this part of your chart, Gemini, and he's going to hang out here for a while. So get ready for that. It's a longer story. I covered it already in a video that came out for his grand finale. He's going to be here starting, as I said, well, yes, starting on November the 9th, when he crosses over. Let's take him into the November 9th period. And as he crosses this part of your sky, he doesn't leave this part of the journey until, where's my notes? Until April 29th next year. So you've got one last in a lifetime, finish up the job in your 12th house already. And it's ruled by Venus, who happens to be in a place of self-undoing and addiction. So you definitely could have breakthroughs in addictions in this angle. This could also mean some real shifts in the kind of work you do and enjoying your work more and getting out from underneath stuff that doesn't work for you between now and the end of April. Major changes in where you live could happen, connected to moving your home to another far offshore or distant land. Could be within your state or country, but it's far from where you live at this time. Those are also possibilities. So a lot of Gemini's South Node here till next July will be moving their home now or selling their home or something like that. Now, on November the 11th, Lord Jupiter, Santa Claus himself, will head into retrogradation in your money and earnings house. He's been kicking ass here since, oh my God, I wish I could remember my brain. I think he went into this part of your sky in June. So since June, he's been kicking ass and helping you make a lot more money, be more prosperous, have more self-worth and self-value, find yourself lucky in money, lucky in finances. And now he's going to retrograde. It doesn't mean he's going to take the money back. No, what he's going to do is go deeper, go inward. He's going to ponder his own navel and help you find true, wise, and good ways to continue to solidify your finances. And as he retrogrades, he does it in a beautiful trine to the 10th house stellium, and it's going to increase career success through inward momentum and movement, looking for deep truth and wisdom. Here is not a time to start new projects, okay? November the 11th through to next March 11th. Don't start something brand new. Don't say, I'm going to start a whole new thing. I'm going to do something different. Oh, no, just stay the course, do what you're doing, let this percolate. And then after March 11th, sure, then you can go radically wild and boldly try something new. At this point, he's just going inward to consolidate things and telling you, hey, we got this, but let's go deeper. Let's look inside our deepest values for what matters to us financially. Making money isn't everything, but how we make it matters. And that's one of the things that Geminis will ponder. You might change your food style when he retrogrades and really look at wise eating and wise food styling, including the elimination of addictions. Now, on November 11th through the 13th, Mercury will conjunct Mars. Let's take a look at that together. Let's talk about Mercury. As the month begins, he's in your 7th house. Just really good for communication, email, phone call, text with somebody that you're in a long-term relationship with, or, whatever, or sending messages to your audience and marketplace that inspire them, Sag, or business contracts and deals. Be careful for the fine print. He's not in good shape to see the fine print in Gemini, in Sagittarius. But as he's here, Mercury, you'll notice that, okay, he got here as soon as the month began, he was at 3 degrees. He turns around to go retrograde, and he'll do the retrograde station turnaround around the 6th of the month. Is it the 6th? Let me double check. November 10th, he stations retrograde at 6 degrees. And by the time we reach November 19th, he crosses back into Scorpio. So we only have a little bit of time here with Mercury in Sag, right? So it's just that first 19 days of the month, but he's also going to be accompanied by Mars. So that's a kind of a combination of like separated from a relationship partner, but doing a lot of communicating anyway, for example. So you're at a distance or you're some time apart, but there's a lot of communication going back and forth. That includes new people you're dating because of Venus. And this could be long distance romance or dating because of geographical separation for single Geminis. If you're already with someone, you might be separated from your partner, traveling for work or something, and doing a lot of emails, phone calls, and texts as the separation is happening. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention here is Mercury is going to bump into Mars, and they're going to bump into each other. Mercury's backpedaling, Mars is going forward, and they headlong collide. This is going to have a little sparks can fly, I think. Something's going on here where there's a pivotal bit of communication from a business partnership, a client, an audience member, a significant other that you might be dating or a new relationship, or your spouse. And the communication requires actions and decisions yesterday already. Let's get going. Let's make the moves. Let's take the action. Let's go for it. Mars rules your house of career gains. There might be some choices around your career and the profits you make and where you're going to make them. There may be some also action, says Mercury, that you might want to pay attention to matters to do with your home and sudden decisions around legal contractual agreements and your home. And with the Moon South Node and Venus Sun in this combination, maybe renegotiating a contract or a rental agreement regarding your property or home, or changing your home to a new rental property are other options here. And I don't know, sometimes just Mars and Mercury together here is a very feisty bit of information coming your way, full of fire and full of zippity-doo-dah. And it may involve your career. It may involve your career gains. It may involve your work. Now we're moving into the next week, which is November the 14th to the 21st. So this is a very busy week. So let's settle in for this. On November the 15th to the 17th, the Sun and Jupiter come into a beautiful and fortunate trine. We never don't mind. We always like that energy. No, don't mind it. So the Sun at 20 Scorpio trines Jupiter at 25. And we begin to see it building up as we get towards this time frame. Here we are on the 15th. So 14th, 15th, 16th. Now, there's something about that you might see right away. There's a beautiful water trine. I talked about it early in the video. This is going to continually occur this month. This is the first event. This is like, okay, my work, my career, my work habits, my routines, my health, my career, my reputation, my social standing, my money, my earnings, my resources. One thing it is definitely good for dietary habit styles and changes that improve your health. Second thing it's good for is a job raise, promotion, advancement, change of job, or just an increase of positive results from your career, work, and money space. Again, we're seeing this November the 15th. And, it's not just then, it's 15th, 16th, 17th. And it feels good. And Saturn brings you lasting gains because Saturn says, can this go the distance? This expansion of your worldly success, that's a dream come true. Can it go the distance? Can you make this last, or is it a flash in the pan? Is it a place of authority, mastery, and climaxing? This is Kamala Harris's chart. What is she doing at this time? Where she's trying to increase her success and profile in the world, and it may be going somewhat well, right? Now, it's also fortunate, flowing, and easy around money, work, career matters, and health improvements as well. Now we move onward, and we're going to see that on November the 17th, Mercury in the last degree of Scorpio, right, sextiles Pluto. Why? Because he goes backwards. Did I say the last? What am I looking for here? November 19th, November 17th. Sorry, let me fix it. On November 17th, 16th, 17th, and 18th, Mercury sextiles Pluto as he's retrograding here. Decisions, actions, communications, agreements, legal contracts connected to judges, courts, foreign lands, foreign places, people, book publishing, higher education and academics, and travel to foreign countries. And possibly in this kind of a sky, there is a strong focus with Mercury here and Pluto here, where we might consider the possibility that he's bending the nodes of fate broadly, as so is Mars. And so there's some fated ways that things are changing in your home and in your work at this time. And this can be about essential communications and maybe contracts, but be careful. Don't sign anything here yet. He's retrograde and you'll change your mind. Some of these decisions you might try to execute now may be false starts. So give it some time, but note the impulse that you're having to make a decision. Now, as he crosses over on November the 19th, he's going to now come into an opposition to Uranus. And this is like a lightning bolt of unexpected news or information. It can connect to the following themes: something to do with work, health, job, employee, pet, rental contract agreements. I hope I said that. And just a surprise. Not to worry about it because you've been working with Uranus and Taurus for years, but there is an unexpected development here. And also, it's kind of working with Jupiter, which brings it something a little bit less than catastrophic. Jupiter is flowing backwards to Mercury and this whole Scorpio stellium. And so in that regard, I think it's going to actually be good for your money connected to work and foreign lands and shores and distant places for that's a kite. Like, so a work opportunity from a foreign company, country, person, in maybe a breakthrough, dietary habit breakthrough, addiction breakthrough as well is possible at this time. On November the 19th, there's also a new moon here in Scorpio. So we have a lot going on at once. And this new moon is a fresh start in the work, health, pets, rentals and tenancies, and debts. You could eliminate debt maybe. What? In the 6 months that follows. Venus is here. She's a money and love goddess, but unfortunately, she's a little bit under the weather. So if it was like a renegotiating of a debt, it's not the best. If you have to renegotiate a rental deal, it's good, but not necessarily great under this new moon sky. But with the South Node involved, it can indicate a definite change of domicile, especially since Mercury rules your fourth house of home. And so there is that story that has to be attended to as well. You wouldn't change your house necessarily or home right away. It could take up to 6 months for that new moon to fulfill its promise. Venus can be changing your home for love. That's another way of looking at it. And she just exalt your career. So a change of home for professional status reasons could also occur. On November 19th as well, you'll notice that Mercury has now formed a trine or positive harmony to Neptune in particular, as well as Saturn. And that's kind of like, well, something good wants to be dream come true, stable, but fantastically wonderful career expansion and growth, along with extra money from Jupiter. And Mercury has the idea, the communications, or the contract. This is employees, and you might hire someone in your employee structures. Or if you want to get employed, same thing will be going on here. On November 20th, Mercury will co-join the sun, and that's called a cazimi. From his retrograde, it's very magical. And it's the 19th, 20th, and I'll be doing a webinar for free. Come join me on that. As Mercury and the sun are going to become one, right? And it happens so fast, this chart doesn't show up, but it's really on the 20th for most people. And there's a new beginning and a reset button that will unfold over 6 weeks that shows you a new direction in work. A new direction in work, career, dating, commitment, relationship, rentals, pets, and health challenges, and a reset button and a fresh start. And again, it's a part of a lucky trine, grand trine, involving Jupiter and Uranus for the shocking, exhilarating, fast-moving lightning bolts of change. In the last week of the month, we're going to go into a very interesting time. On the 21st onward, this water triangle continues to strengthen. The sun was here, and then the sun moves on into your Sagittarius 7th house. But the sun, as the ruler of your 3rd house, can indicate a travel opportunity connected to work, romance, love, coming into your life around the 19th to the 21st. But then Mercury takes the next part of this beautiful triangle, and he wants to make something happen. And that would be the details, the negotiations, the contracts, the deals. So that's happening, and that's continuing to happen through to about November the 23rd, 4th, and 5th. And then we see Venus take the hand of the kite, or the handhold of the triangle. Let's keep it simple for now. But it is a bit of a kite here. What Venus wants to accomplish is something positive, the best she can, even though she's exiled, and she is ruled by Mars here in your 7th house. So it could be a contract legally connected to a work situation, and coming into form with ease, grace, and flow, more wealth and more success, especially professionally. If you're dating somebody, it can be a major change in the tone of the dating, where now there's a new movement towards commitment. And she's going to definitely want her to try her very best to bring a positive spin to anything that looks romantic, but also career oriented. She's going to be moving closer and closer by the 27th to this Saturn for lasting, lucky dating love and or something good going on with your money and your work. Now, Mercury here is backpedaling. So he's getting further away from this triangle. He did his job already, but then Venus herself, as she continues on, gets into an exact opposition to Uranus. Now, that's usually a surprise regarding something, money or love. Let us take it back so we get back to you. So is it a money surprise? Is it a love surprise? What is it? In this axis, it could be a health surprise, but with Jupiter's support, all works out. It could also be a surprise connected to a career opportunity that's a dream come true. It could also be a surprise connected to an animal or a pet, if I didn't say that. And it could also be a surprise connected to some situation regarding dating. All of those are possible, but it's unexpected. It comes out of left field. It may involve emails, phone calls, or texts because of Mercury. And because it's expect the unexpected Uranus, it's so hard as an astrologer to even begin to guess what this might be. But all said and done, with Jupiter's support for all of it in an exalted flow from Cancer, it is my best guess that most of this feels good for you. So these aren't catastrophic surprises that wreck your reality, but rather surprises that turn things into a much more auspicious direction for you. Venus rules your house of pregnancy, fertility, and romance. Maybe there's an unexpected pregnancy or fertility. It doesn't have to be you. Could be one of your children. There also is a sense here with Venus coming to the end of the workhouse, and she's working but not enjoying her work, right? There could be a breakthrough that gives you a sense of freedom from something that could have been feeling like some drudgery or duty or difficulty in enjoying your work, which would have begun around November the 6th and ends December 1st as she leaves your workhouse behind. And she's there on the yearly, but not with Jupiter trining her. That's what makes it special. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to draw a card from the Animal Spirit Guidebook by Kim Krans and ask the question, how is it best that you, it's the sun, what's the best way for you to approach this particular month in terms of strengths and weaknesses with the animal deck at hand? And we're just going to get keywords here. I'm not reading the whole thing, the whole write-up. The lamb makes me think of a sacrificial lamb. All right, the lamb of God. Okay, whatever. Let's get it for you. Lamb. You like this kind of content? Like and subscribe. Check out my 2025 All Signs bundle or individual signs. You can buy them at a pre-sale price that pre-exists going into the public sale sphere, but you're not getting it till I've done recording, but you're buying it as I'm making it as a gesture of good faith. Don't worry. If I don't make it, you'll get your money back. All right. I will be making them starting in a week from now. Lamb. All right, guys. Kim Krans, if you would just she did not put a table of contents. So how would you best operate during the month of November? Peaceful, patient, and prophetic. Not bad. When you're in balance in the month of November, you have knowingness and inner peace. I have a progressed Gemini sun. I'll take it. Knowingness and inner peace. When you're out of balance in November, okay, when you're not in your groove Gemini, you are quiet, timid, and concerned. And to bring yourself into balance, meditation and listening. Well, I'm meditating every morning at dawn with candles lit, and I'm listening also to a lot of Eckhart Tolle these days. I joined his membership on YouTube, and I love watching a 1 to 2 hour uninterrupted long form video of one of his appearances and teachings, Thanks for listening, everybody. Don't forget, liking and subscribing is the least you can do. Call it a tip jar. I would appreciate that. See you, and maybe some of you in the free webinar on the Mercury Cazimi. Also looking forward to seeing a few of you hopefully buying my All Signs bundle or individual signs pre-sale price. Big hugs to everyone. Enjoy the merry month of November.